John at Jeepsterman. Today we're working on a 1960 station wagon. And this, we're doing kingpin replacement and the bearings on it, and then the steering knuckle axle seal as well on this. The steering knuckle axle seals are notorious for leaking. And we had some kingpin bearings and stuff that were worn out on the other side of this one, so we're gonna go ahead and change these as well. I've got the parts laid out here. These are all parts we carry on our website, jeepsterman.com. So I've got the kingpin bearing cap. We're gonna go ahead and check those. I'll probably replace them. Part number 910901. We got the kingpin bearings. These are what usually wear out. And on the other side, ours were worn out so bad they had scored these cups up too. So the kingpin bearings are part number 52940 and 52941. And then I got a set of shims out. These shims here that go on the kingpin cap themselves, which are part number A6882. And then this is the knuckle seal kit that we were talking about. These are notorious for leaking. One, because they're either old, or two, because people put the wrong grease in them. I have the grease set out that we're going to use. We'll talk about that later. There's a lot of controversy over that. The steering knuckle kit is part number 915664. So really, most of the tools, we've got this stripped down. We've taken the brakes off the hub, the backing plate. It's stripped down. I went ahead and disconnected the tie rod. That's a 3/4 inch bolt there. The tools you'll need, these are 9/16, and then all the bolts behind the steering knuckle, those are 1/2 inch. These, I already removed the spindle bolts. Those are already removed because you're going to take those off too. So from here, we're just going to take the spindle off. I'm going to pull the king bearing caps out, and then I'm going to take the back of these plates off back here on the steering knuckle, and then we'll be back. Okay, so here we are, we're back. Went ahead and disassembled. I got the kingpins off, 4 bolts in the top, and then there's 4 bolts in the bottom of this. Like I said, we went ahead and took the tie rod off, and then all the 1/2 inch bolts on the back here for these seals, all right? So we got all that off of there. And then we're gonna go ahead and slide this, it comes right off, all right? Because we got the kingpins out. So from here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna inspect the kingpin bearings, like this one here. And this one, I mean, it doesn't look too bad, but I can see in here that the cup is all scored up. And I'm sure the bottom one is probably the same too. So that's why we're replacing these, because I can, and even the grease, this looks like it might have got a little bit of water in it too. It's kind of got a rusty look to it. But that's what you're looking for when you do that. And now I've already checked this one, and this one's fine. But make sure you check this U-joint. It's in this axle, all right? See if it wiggles back and forth or anything. This one here is good. The other side on this one was trashed. But next, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull these seals off there because we're replacing those. And these knuckles are just really bad about leaking, so we're gonna clean all of this up, clean everything out on the inside and the outside on this, replace that seal. And then I'm gonna have to push new bushing, or not new bushings, but new cups in here for these kingpins. And after that, we'll clean all this up, and then we'll come back and put all that stuff together and show you how that's done. So we're back. I went ahead, cleaned everything up on this. I put new races in it too. The races, you got a race in the top and the bottom. I used a 15/16 to drive out the old ones. I used a race installer to install the new ones. So now we're at the point, I've got my steering knuckle all cleaned up here. You can see I cleaned the rest of that up. So now we're just getting ready to put this back together. So the first thing we're gonna do is take this felt seal, slide it over the top like that. And then we're gonna slide this rubber piece. You gotta bend it a little bit. And you can see it's got a flange on it too, because this goes in the back side of the steering knuckle. Put that over it. Then we've got to put our kingpin bearings, because I'm putting new kingpin bearings. And the bearings and the cups, the part numbers were 52940 and 52941. So there's the bearings. I got those all packed, greased. And then I'm going to get ready and put this steering knuckle in, because this will fall out. close, everything kind of falls in place. I've got my thumb in this bottom kingpin bearing kind of guided on there so it doesn't fall out. So now that's all in there. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and this steering knuckle seal kit comes with these new brackets. So I'm going to go ahead and reinstall these things with the seal and everything on there. And then we'll come back and I'll do the king bearing caps and show you that, and then we're about done. All right, so we went ahead, got our knuckle on there. We did the axle, the knuckle seal kit here with the felt, the rubber seal, and the retainer plates. My kingpins, I stuck those back in there. I already installed those. I kind of had to force those things in there. So I just got to pull on the knuckle a little bit to get the bearings to line up. The shims, mine had 2 shims in the top, so I just replaced it with 2 shims. I went ahead and put new kingpins in this because I had new ones on the shelf, and these were looking a little bit worn. So that's pretty much it from here. So we're just gonna go ahead and tighten everything down, and we'll come back and I'm gonna put the spindle on that we've got sitting here, seal that up, and then we're gonna put oil in it. We'll talk a little bit about the oil and then we'll be done. All right, so that's pretty much it. We've got the kingpins installed. I went ahead, reinstalled the spindle here. I just used a little bit of gasket sealer on the back side, and then I'll be putting disc brakes back on this. I was just going to talk about the oil real quick. You'll see a lot of people online talk about it. Do not put gear oil in these, because gear oil will just leak back out, and supposedly it'll destroy the U-joints on the inside too. So I did find a place called Torque King. They sell this closed knuckle lubricant, which is supposed to be the closest. It's a mixture of oil. It's supposed to be the closest stuff like original. That's what we're going to use in this closed knuckle. It comes in a caulk gun. TorqueKing.com is where we found that. And then all these other parts we have that we went through. If you got any questions, let us know. sales@thejeepsterman.com. You can also find all this on our site, www.thejeepsterman.com. If you have any questions, you can also call 314-798-6462. Thanks.